Park Commission meeting, Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. The Recreation Park Commission meeting will broadcast live stream at the official YouTube channel. Roll call.
Do I who says roll call?
Yes, one of you two. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Commissioner Joe Harris.
Here.
Commissioner Enrique Ortiz.
Here.
Commissioner Emily Dreiling. Here. Commissioner Michael Menes.
Thank you. So item number 2, the Pledge of Allegiance. Position. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag for the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, the community participation forum. Each person will be limited to a discussion of 3 minutes. The time reserved to accept comments from the public on a consent calendar item or matters that not otherwise scheduled on this agenda. Pursuant to the provisions of the Brown Act, no action may be taken on these matters unless they are listed on the agenda or unless certain emergency or special circumstances exist. The Recreation Parks Commission may direct staff to investigate and or schedule certain matters for consideration at future meetings. Please state your name again, please.
My name is Andrew Espinoza. I came here this evening in regards of to follow up on an issue. Like 2 years ago, I came to the board meeting because I live in downtown Guadalupe, and we received tickets back then, and so we came over here to to address it because we never received this tickets, and we were disputing a sign that was put up there that shouldn't have been between the block of 11th Street and 10th Street because there's residential over there. So they said, well, the other option would be like a parking permit. So I addressed that to them, and they said they'll follow up with me and work on that and see what happened. So that's what I'm here to follow up on.
You're actually because of parking tickets that you're getting now that you weren't getting before?
Yeah, it's been 2 years already. Well, during this time, I followed up, did my own homework, and I found out that there's something been addressed for 2 years ago that was being addressed. I go, yeah, well, I was the one. And then I found out that 6 months ago, they gave everybody permits that they allowed. And here's the letter that was, I guess, addressed to the police department, but I don't know if it was addressed to everybody else. But everybody in this address right here got tickets, but my address is not on there. I'm the one who addressed it to everybody to say, hey, and I believe that's what the whole deal was for me not to get tickets because where I live at. There's 9 houses, by the way.
Have you taken this to the city council?
Yeah, that's why I'm following up. This has been 2 years already.
This is not the city council. We're Parks and Rec, and
Oh, okay. This is the wrong meeting.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've been hearing about stuff going on there.
yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Alright.
you should talk to them.
I thought that's what I came here. That's why I thought
Second and fourth Tuesday. So what are we, the first Tuesday?
Yeah.
So next week, come here, same time, same place.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good luck.
Item number 4.
Oh,
go
Can
ahead.
I say something?
Yes, you
My name is Stephanie Kraus. I'm coming here today as a representative for the Cosecha Guadalupe Farmers Market Group. We've been working with the city, talking to them to try to have the market in Guadalupe. And originally we wanted it in downtown, the downtown city parking lot. And they asked us to do some due diligence and find out if the churches were going to be using the parking lot on Sundays and other businesses that had restaurants. And they asked us to look around for parking. So we've done that, and we've realized that the downtown lot is not the best place for the farmers market. So we would like to go and use the Leroy Park facility. And the goal would be to have it every Sunday from 10 to 2. So I'm reaching out to you guys because I believe there are fees involved with using Leroy Park. But this is a city market that we're hoping to have. So we're hoping that the fees will be
Minimal.
minimized because it's for the benefit of everyone.
Right.
Well, that's kind of what we're saying, if we could just join
Collaboration.
forces,
Yeah.
maybe we don't need to have fees or so many fees. So that's why we're here. First of all, we're interested in knowing what the fees could be, so that we can kind of take this information, go back to the city council meeting and, kind of report just kind of on what I've said, that basically we did our due diligence and realized that Leroy Park is the best park, and the best parking lot, because it's maintained by the city and it has a lot more growth potential than the downtown lot does. Right.
Jessica Appel, she had contacted the office inquiring about it. I believe it's okay, don't quote me, but it's like $650 for Leroy, for the whole park. But as far as a collaboration, how's the commission board feel about a possible waiving or?
Yeah, because I don't see them trying to make money. They're just trying to make an event and,
Right.
community participation. So
Right.
I don't think it really benefits the city.
Council can vote on that.
But
To waive the
we would
fees.
suggest to the council to waive the fees and everything else.
Okay.
And then we should probably start working on some, what dates for that?
We've discovered that Sundays would be the best day for their community as a whole, because that's when most people are not working and they could actually access the market. And our market, the goal of our market is to really appeal to all economic levels with it'll take us some time to set up, but accepting EBT and market match, which gives the people that use market match basically double the quantity of fruits and vegetables that they could buy if they wanted. So, and we also discovered that originally a few years ago when I was talking to a previous Parks and Recreation person, Hannah, she had thought we would need to use the Boys and Girls Club because we're required to have a hot water station for our produce vendors to be able to wash their hands, use the bathroom and wash hands in warm water. But we've since learned that we can actually purchase a warm water station that is portable.
Right.
And that would eliminate us needing to have a Boys and Girls Club member inside the building for those hours, which would end up being around $300 per time. So we're thinking that we don't need that at all.
So on the vendors themselves, are they going to be charged for a spot or anything like that?
Yeah, the vendors will pay an amount to be part of the market, and I believe there's an amount they pay up front, but then there's a percentage of their sales that comes back to the market. Our goal is to be a sustainable market so we can keep operating and bringing people back.
Right.
When were you looking to start?
As soon as we get all the right votes in place, we would love to start. We have to, once we get the approval by the city council for our location, and we find out about fees, then we have to submit an application to the health department and the ag commissioner. And they require that we say exactly what our hours are and what day of the week we're going to be using the market. So we can't really move forward with the application until we get this part settled.
Sounds good.
Sounds like something the community has expressed interest in. Would you say a good next step would be maybe to formalize some of the information you provided us verbally today and send it over to our NUFO to move forward at this point to allow city council to vote on the fee portion?
I think, yeah, I mean, we could do that. If that, would it just need to be a letter or would that be?
I'm thinking just like all the information you gave us today, kind of how you got to the location, the dates, kind of what the vendor structure. I think that's great about being able to double the spending power of individuals, just so there is a record of it. Because I know it's been several years we've been talking about it. So I know this is a great record of the work you've done so far, but if we could get it formalized in just a email or something to help our NUFO put that forward, I think that would be really helpful just to make sure we don't lose anything as we move forward with the process.
Yeah, I think that'd be no problem.
According to this, are we going to say this is special circumstances?
I think we need to do we have to make a
Because
motion to
we
that?
We can't do anything unless we
We have to
decide
make it,
it's special circumstances or emergency. So this is special circumstances, I would say.
I think we have to make a
Has something to do
motion.
with the Brown Act.
I think it's just getting information, but if she provides more information, there's no option.
Okay.
Correct? So
Yeah.
How about for the motion for some kind of collaboration?
Yeah.
For
But we can't
recommendation.
really act on anything until we get some more. And make it official. That's what it said.
Has the agenda for the meeting on the 10th been finalized yet? Could that potentially be, if we got the information through email in the coming days, then we could add that to, we actually have a joint meeting between recreation and city council on the 10th. And so that might be a good opportunity if we could get that information for us all to talk about it there.
Okay.
And then she has come to city council to discuss this before.
Oh, good.
Back in,
Yeah.
So yes, a couple of those things that we're finalizing. And
Nice.
Sounds great.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Exciting. Thank you for keeping moving it along. Be a
Thank you.
huge asset to the community.
Item number 4, consent calendar. The following items are presented for the commission's approval without discussion as a single agenda item in order to expedite the meeting. Should a member of the Recreation and Parks Commission wish to discuss or disapprove an item, it must be dropped from the blanket motion of approval and considered as a separate item. Item A,
Have a great night.
approval of the minutes of the Recreation and Parks special meeting, April 2. 2025.
All motion.
I'll second that emotion. I'll set that.
I wasn't sure if I was even there for that meeting. So. It's been a
You weren't
while.
here, but you can still do the motion.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Thank you. Approved. Who said there's no place where we're supposed to stop and introduce our new.
We could do that. We could do that on item 6. Commission request comments and
Yeah.
regular.
All right, let's see, regular business, future activities, new recreation services manager discussion update item in the aggregate. Welcome, sir.
All right. I did not have anything to do with Cyclemania. Are we talking about Psychomania, right? Or the future activities?
Anything.
Regular business, anything. Okay. Well, for upcoming this month, I got dropped off some flyers for everybody, English and Spanish. First event for this month is going to be a kite festival. I'm currently reaching out to vendors. It's a bit of short notice, so struggling a little bit, but we hope to have, well, we are going to have a craft DIY, create your own kite little kit. We'll also have some kites to raffle off. We'll have a few lawn games, be open to the public, everything. Actually, all the crafts will be free to anybody who would like to participate. It'll be Sunday, June 22nd, in the afternoon. I'm counting on this Guad win to
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
But we've never had a kite festival, all this wind. And so
That's a good idea. That's good.
So hopefully I'll go well. I'm still finalizing the flyers, but we'll also have a family movie night returning to Leroy. If anybody would like to be the concession stand, I want to try to open that back up to any organizations that would like to capitalize on that opportunity. And then as well as the following Friday, that would be Friday the 20th, starting at, I guess, 7:00, free to the public. And then on the 27th, pending approval from the social club, I'm looking to have a 21 and up movie night. And that will feature more films, classic films, in collaboration with the social club, and possible as well as with Route One. And so there'll be kind of something to do for adults to enjoy something in town, you know. A little something different, but something for the adults, because I know everything's closed by 8, and usually if you want to do something fun in Guad as an adult, you have to leave Guad. So trying a little something different. And that's just for June. Those are the events going on.
Sounds good.
Mm.
Yes.
Definitely.
I'll be out of town, but it sounds.
I look to have it recurring through every month, or at least through summer. Give, not only the family but the adults something to do. The wild one, it's Marlon Brando. I think it's in the 40s. It's a great movie. One of my I love that one. So
Will you be serving popcorn?
we will have popcorn.
They do.
And oh, really? At the
Social club, yeah, I think that looks good.
spoiler alert, we're looking to get a cotton candy machine too. Mhm.
Mhm. Anybody have any questions or comments?
No.
I first like to right now just introduce our new fellow. He's our new rec director, and we want to congratulate him. Maybe be here for a while. How's it going so far?
It's good. I mean, finding my way and learning something new every day, but like I was telling these two, it feels good to be the ones making the decision. I was telling Enrique too, is that you can't pay somebody to care, right? You know, and care about the details on things. And that's something I bring to the table. So and something I really enjoy. You know, one of the other things is I'm looking to bring a curtain to the auditorium and just transform that space for everybody. And just making sure the details are correct on that, and it looks good and it matches well with the, you know, the interior of that space, because it's a dated space, so it needs to match. It shouldn't look out of space, should complement it. Those decisions I'm excited about, and bringing. I have ideas for future programs and events that, you know, I feel like only comes from growing up in this area and having a feel for the community. And it's like, I think this would do well here, you know.
Would be good to get that up, fixed or completed. It's only half done. The cement's there, but I don't know if the baskets are there yet.
There's no hoops. Yeah. Yeah. So they're actually looking to, we actually briefly touched on meeting this morning. I guess they ordered hoops. They don't fit the backboards, of course. So they're actually looking to possibly just replace the whole backboard. I think
They should.
Yeah, because they're already way too small anyways.
Yeah. Spend the money.
Yeah, right. So I'm hoping that gets done sooner than later. But that's the plan that they were talking about, to not necessarily rip out the whole bit, just the backboards and the hoops.
No, it's helps if people go check out when we done pretty soon.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Couple things. I don't know if it's considered future activities or commission.
Go for it.
Okay. Recruitment of a new commissioner. What does that look? What does our plan look like?
Anybody know anybody? Yeah. Yeah, I was approached about that today. And so I haven't drawn a plan. But it'd be just kind of considering people, just kind of presenting it to people. Does anybody know anybody?
Gilbert?
He didn't say no.
Yeah.
I thought about one of the excellent too. I guess you remember. You might want to come back. He was gonna run badminton. We were gonna
That would
run
be cool.
badminton together, Jesse.
Yeah.
He's been involved. So, yeah, 'cause he was gonna run the badminton that we were gonna set up. So he's still involved in it.
I feel like we got really lucky when we got you, and so I want to keep our lucky streak alive. So however we want to advertise it, put the word out to make sure that we get somebody else that's a good fit for the commission, and just really as I mean, no real requirements, but just more of a passion for recreation and then wanting to serve the community. I think that's one of the things I like about our commission so much, is we all have such different perspectives on things. And so just to like bring in another person that brings it, you know, a different perspective than we have and just cares a lot about rec.
I agree.
So I had that. And then Enrique and I both attended the transportation egg workshop last Friday. I just thought I had a couple notes on there, and then Enrique, if you have anything you want to add to it. So there was beautiful display boards. There was probably about 25 different display boards of different concepts that were coming in to the area. Although I don't believe it was marketed very well, because there was only about 5 people, and 6 if you count someone who doesn't technically live in town anymore. So there was not a lot of community participation, and there wasn't necessarily an alternate mechanism to solicit any type of feedback on there. But the one thing that I thought was really noteworthy that I don't necessarily think a lot of the community is tracking is that at the intersection of 166 and Obispo, which is commonly known as like the entrance to Pasadena, right now there's only one exit in and out of Pasadena at any point in time. There's been multiple accidents there over the last couple of years, ranging from a few children that have actually been hit, a biker that was injured pretty significantly, that was a resident of Pasadena, multiple car accidents. But I think how it's getting reported, it's not necessarily cumulative where people understand how many accidents have occurred there. But as we're getting ready to open the new junior high over there, there's going to be 350 children that are going to be over there starting in August. And the light that's part of the concept, it doesn't look like it's going to be going into like 2028, 2029 timeframe.
Yeah, that's
And
too
so
long.
I just wanted to bring it to the commission here, and then also to the extent that city council at some point may be interested as well. With all of our recreation opportunities being over at Leroy and Jack, and most of our children in the community coming from the other side of town to like the new school of that 350, I think that there is a significant probability that people could be injured crossing that crosswalk. And I don't know if it has the attention of the right people at this point in time, just because there hasn't been enough opportunities for the majority of our community to truly express how dangerous it is there. And so I just wanted to bring those comments up for this group. And then to the extent we can continue to bring that forward, I have serious concerns about come August, how many kids and drivers are going to be going in and out of there. And then also the risk for residents in Pasadena that there is only one entry point in and out of that area. And so if there is an accident of any sort, the community is literally trapped. You can't go in, you can't go out. And so what might that do if there was a medical emergency, a fire, those types of things? So was there anything else that from that meeting you wanted to add, Enrique?
No, that was pretty much it. You know, we spoke to that lady and just let her know our concerns, and something needs to be done as soon as possible because somebody's gonna get hurt again.
Because I think, you know, people coming off the one, they don't understand that there's a pedestrian crosswalk on a highway. Depending on the time of day, based on how the light, you know, the sun's coming down, kids that, you know, they're not thinking that if they really need to watch so the car could pick enough speed, it could take them out. And so we've been fortunate in the fact that there's not been a fatality, but we've not been too far off from a fatality occurring. And so I did want to bring that up. I don't necessarily know what the right next step, maybe it could be something we could discuss further in the meeting next week on the special meeting. But I do think as we're encouraging people to partake in recreation, Boys and Girls Club, Jack O'Connell, those types of things, when we have 350 kids, I do think that it's at least our responsibility to raise it to the attention of the right people. So they continue to hear, even if it's only a few of us, just how serious it could potentially. Moving on to more exciting news I learned last week. The bus system, effective July 1st, the Guadalupe Flyer is no longer going to be flying, not in literal sense, but driving. It's now all part of the Santa Maria bus system. But getting the word out on that, a couple things that I thought were really kind of exciting is that if you got a ticket in Guadalupe, to get on the bus, you don't have to then re-ticket in Santa Maria, like your ticket just transfers multiple buses. I picked up a copy of their map or their booklet that has all of the times in it. And I found it online as well. So if you go out and look, but I didn't know that that was occurring quite so quickly, but I think it'll help if there's someone like maybe they want to participate in Santa Maria with a recreation opportunity, they now have better transportation that's a little bit easier in order to get there. So I thought that was nice.
We have a basketball player that rides the bus from Jack O'Connell to come to play basketball.
Oh, cool.
Kind of talk to him about that.
It shouldn't affect any routes negatively. It should only make things positive.
Right.
It seemed really nice, like some of the fairs that they were advertising, like if you were a kid, if you were a Hancock student, if they like you had free opportunities on the Santa Maria transportation system. And I thought, I don't know if that's the case now. I haven't read the flyer. It's pretty cool to have opportunities like that for people if you wanted to sign up for a class at Hancock and maybe you didn't. have
Yeah.
people, like, it just
Mhm.
seems a lot easier now. So I did learn that last weekend or last week also. And I think those were just the biggest things that I just wanted to bring up. And then I guess the last one would just be as a commission and then as our new commission manager, do we have a plan of kind of how we want to address or have dialogue with city council next Tuesday? Like what that might look like, just to make sure it's a good,
No.
productive meeting that is really focused on moving forward at this point. Do you guys have any ideas on what that might look like?
Well, that's back that you talked about the transportation issue.
Mhm.
That's something that we should bring up, and the city council should
Mm.
want to bring it up. And then that farmer's market.
Didn't that one lady give us some information about how kind of contacted the Caltrans?
Oh, yeah, I got the QR and business code if there is like overall concerns, like you see a pothole or so you see a light that's not working, how to report it. So I have a little like booklet of stuff I'm gonna bring in next week too. But I know that this meeting on the 10th was specifically kind of scheduled to really figure out like what is the function of recreation commission? What is city council? Like, how do we work together? Because I know we've all been on the commission for quite a while, but
We need to be reminded again sometime. Yeah.
So I pushed pretty hard for this meeting, because I just think that it's important so we don't redo the things that haven't gone well.
Right. And we want to do more. So I mean, we could do more change with with our group, our committee, then let's do it.
We want them to stop firing our directors.
I see what you guys are doing here because I show up, but it doesn't really get true. You know, like they don't hear everything that you guys are.
Well, we want to do more. We want to do
Continue,
whatever impact we can do. Let's do it.
keep moving on up.
Yeah, I think like just more transparency and communication, I think is really one of the big things that I want is understanding better, like how do we communicate with city council in a way that's like they feel like we're valuable. And I mean, I'm not just saying that I think we're valuable. I really think we're valuable. Like you guys have so many years and decades of experience in the recreation field here that I feel like if our voices aren't part of the bigger dialogue, like it's a huge aspect of the community that's missed. You know?
Mhm.
I think we know where we're at. We just want to convey to them.
Yeah.
Give it the yes, when we need it.
More on our plate. We want more on our plate.
And I think even if, because it was a little bit, trying to get this joint meeting, like I would love for us to get to a point where like it's actually written into some sort of like meeting minutes or something to say like we'll meet annually or semi-annually. Just because as people like change in and out and stuff, like you can forget. And I don't think I've been a part of a joint meeting with them in 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, so I don't know if we'll get that, but I would love to ask if we could just have some reoccurring process too. What about for you, Arnulfo, like as you're walking into the position and kind of seeing like what's been done over the last year and where you want to go in the future? Is there anything in particular that you want to talk about in that meeting that we might be able to help you like amplify your voice on?
Really it's to what they expect, seeing the last two managers been let go, and then watching it play out alongside you guys. I mean, I want to say transparency, but I feel like that's wishful thinking. So it's I guess some sort of guidance or idea, or just direction of where we want to be headed. Because I could have all the ideas and put everything I have into it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of, if they're displeased, I guess it's like, or if it's not where they want to go with it. So it's hard to narrow it down, because it's like I said, I don't think I'll get that clear direct transfers. Like, this is what we want. Because it seems, I feel like whenever I ask, it's like, we want a good job. And it's like, okay, what exactly does that entail? But yeah, so
Think transparent, like, I don't think clear expectations is too much to ask. Like, I think that, like, to be unclear is unkind, and I don't think that we should set anybody out, like anybody up, because what I might consider is a good job, someone else might be like, you're doing a crap job. Like, but I do think if they could give better direction, it would be, I think you would be able to achieve greater results if you know what the target is.
Mhm.
And so I would love that to
Yeah.
be a part of the dialogue. And then I don't know if it ever, maybe not necessarily as a director, but as like a commission, like any feedback that we can get from city council on, like, hey, you guys are really focusing a lot on I don't know, arts, but we really want to see more sports, or we really want to see more adult programming. I don't think I've ever heard that type of dialogue before. And so it would be really difficult to know if we're like meeting the mark until, all of a sudden, like, there's drastic changes happening. So
Right.
I would love for us to get better, like, more clear communication so we can be better.
I agree. That was one thing that or Todd had mentioned when I was getting hired on, is that they do want I guess more recreational sports. So that's definitely something I've been keeping in mind. And one thing for like the fall, hopefully I could get a flag football league going. So something that hasn't been really being done around here. Of course, I want to do a basketball tournament. I think I plan on that in more of the spring. Right. Yeah. We've tried in the past in the softball, but it's unfortunate because those things aren't because of lack of trying. It's because people didn't sign up for those.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next time another person, myself, said you're just going to sponsor a team ourselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that we have somebody starting, maybe there's teams in there.
Mhm.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Advertisement.
Yeah.
I do think one other thing that would be helpful to think about and maybe bring up in this meeting is, like, what is our communication strategy? Because I think that is something that really lacks in our community without a public information officer. We do have a website, we have the marquee, we've had, Instagram pages kind of come and go, but, like, how do we want to communicate with our community just to make sure that we get, we're putting on events that people want to see? Because I wonder why don't people sign up? Is it resources? Is it lack of interest?
I think people just, being here in a small town, at the weekend, they're here all, you're here all week at home, and some people just want to get out of town, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not saying that we need to do something every week, but if you do an event, hopefully people attend.
Somebody car with the speaker. People don't know about certain things. A lot of people don't know about certain things that are going on.
Yeah, because I mean, one thing, of course, is that people with family, they have the kids in sports, softball, baseball, basketball. It's constantly,
And you're competing against, surrounding area events as well.
Right.
Because it's like if Slow has something that
Oh yeah,
you really want to do, Slow's not far,
No.
That's another thing I was thinking about. Instead of having like event, rather more like event, focusing not so much as quantity as just like really kind of, high caliber events, and just a few, but like I said, not a bunch of events, but just a few core ones alongside the recreational sports, but just more focused and more so it's tighter and we're not competing. We're not like so spread out and just like, oh yeah, come to this. Like, no, this one. And but that being said, a lot more will be kind of poured into this being a larger kind of event.
Communication when other events are going on.
Right.
We tried to do dodgeball that day.
Mm.
We went around the corner, saw the school had all these tents of soccer tents and everything. The place was packed. And people were parking here and then leaving.
Mm.
Parking here.
Mm.
And they leave. Something's going on at the school. Wow, that place was packed.
Oh yeah.
No wonder.
Mhm.
Dodgeball usually.
I do think like it's been something we've kind of tossed around a little bit, but like just more of a like, not necessarily a needs assessment, but like what do people want to see? Like,
Mhm.
because I think we all have our own perspective of what we think people want to see, but when people are like, no, I'm so busy with my kids' sports, but dang, I'd love a date night just to get out to watch a movie at the social club and not have to worry about driving home and paying a babysitter an extra hour because I drove into Santa Maria. Or, you know, if it's like with kids, the kids sports, like no, Boys and Girls Club already has so many, like it's not really something we need to duplicate. But
Mhm.
I think at some point it would be nice to get a good pulse on like what does the community tell us that they want us to get.
Right.
Now, how do we get that is a whole nother thing. And how do we make sure to hit all the populations and stuff? But I do think that that is something that has been difficult to plan because we just don't know. We hear a few voices with a big microphone on what they want, but we don't necessarily hear everybody like collectively from the community to strategize what we're gonna.
I agree. That's a difficult one to get a pulse on as we've, been facing that challenge.
Like I've heard certain kids talk about they like doing this, and I would never have guessed that you like that. That's cool. And we don't really know
No.
how we can get all that information. I don't know.
I know it is a narrow population, but where we've gotten a lot of traction when it comes to like bulldogs is social media. Like a lot of our registrations and stuff, people are like, oh, I saw your Instagram post, or like those little micro polls of like, you know, would you like a craft night or a movie night? You know, like something people could quickly provide feedback, and our reach is pretty big and there's no cost, maybe as a starting point.
I kind of try to do that with something.
You got on the social media, you gotta be on it. I mean, you gotta always.
Because if I don't look at it for a couple of days, I don't know that.
And your stuff, like your posts will filter to the bottom if you're not on it. Like,
Right, you
have to be like consistently posting,
Right.
because then the algorithm pick it up and send your stuff. But I'll be honest, I'm not a social media person. I'm more of an in-person person.
Right.
You got to be on it, and when you're on it, you're just lost in it.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, so
I haven't found out yet.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Any plans to like resurrect the Instagram at all for recreation? I know there's been like two, I think there was one account and then another account created. Do you think those ones will come back?
yeah, I was working on it today. I was trying to create a Facebook page, and I literally created it, right? Immediately Facebook was like, your account is disabled for like you're not following the guidelines. I was like, I literally just created it. I had done nothing. I repealed it, and then I sent a repeal like a half hour later. It's permanently disabled. You're not get. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I switched to Instagram. So I don't know about Facebook, but I'll get a Instagram one up and running, and it'll be a starting point.
I think all the young people are on TikTok.
Yeah.
So people, although we do have a Facebook.
But that's what, like, whenever somebody in Guadalupe, it's like, oh, well, was it on if you grew up in Guadalupe, or things like those pages?
That's a popular one. That one.
So
Yeah.
maybe I'll skip the Instagram or the Facebook page, but have the events posted onto there, and
Yeah.
it'll just kind of do its due
I
diligence.
think there's a way on that you could post it honestly, like you did
Mhm. Okay. I'd really like to get a post with screenshots of the Christmas post of the people. I'd volunteer. I'd help out on that. I want screenshots, highlights of names, and just be like, hey, we're gonna get something together. Where you guys at?
Parades, did you see they already sent out the flyer for the 16th of September parade?
Yes.
So we'd love for Bulldogs, I'd love for us to get a float this year, or a flatbed with some hay. We'll call it a float. See enough. But I know you rode in the Christmas parade, right, Joe? That would be cool if we could do a Parks and Rec. And
Yeah.
anyone's
That'd
feeling
be good.
festive.
Mhm.
Serve next time. That'd be great. That'd be good. Thanks for the game. Good. On another issue, volleyball and basketball is doing well, doing great.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
The chief is coming in, sitting down and watching basketball. He took his shirt off like he was gonna play. Took it off.
I think it's going well. I was there as they were kind of getting set up, and I had talked to the woman that runs it, and yeah, there was a good amount of people just setting up. It wasn't even like they were all, it was about 10, 15 minutes prior to it starting, and there was already, I'd say like 8 people just there already. So I think it's going well.
Yeah, I saw she was out at Cycle Mania, so I was like, oh, she's back and
Mhm.
doing her line dance.
Mhm.
I know we have basketball and volleyball, we now have line dancing. Any other reoccurring events like that in the works?
Well, we were going to be starting badminton at
Oh,
in January. That's when we were scheduled, so I'll talk to Jesse and see if he's still interested, and he'll probably get in touch with you.
That's good.
Pickleball.
Ooh,
Mhm.
losing.
Yeah.
Is there nets?
Yeah,
Yeah, a knee spot, and that's
I think it's paid for pickleball.
Hmm.
So that was something that was
Yeah.
going to happen, so we just gotta get a, probably somebody to rent it now. That will
Yeah.
rent it.
Mr.
I did
Mayor.
think of one more thing. I went to the Memorial Day event on Monday. And it was very well attended. I guess the 2 organizations, they actually made an announcement at the beginning that they're now really committed to working together, and that all events that go forward will be, I don't know if co-hosted is the right word, but co-supported. And there was probably like 75 people.
Oh, wow.
there. Like, it
That's-
was very well. The Vietnam veterans. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're coming together.
Yeah, so it was really nice. It was like I usually try to go on the Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and this one was like by far the best attended. I thought that was really hopeful that they're, putting the paths to get, behind them and moving forward. And it sounds like there's a Veterans Day one in the so
Mhm.
They need to stick together.
Yeah.
the wind almost took away the flag, but be good for the country.
There's also a new gentleman that's on the board of the cemetery, so I think that helps too.
Oh yeah, they did mention him, and they mentioned like just how like pristine the grounds looked and stuff, and the flags were all looking really good. And there was a really good feel to it, like everyone just felt really supportive of, just the event. And then they did mention, I thought it was cool, they talked about each veteran that was essentially like killed in action, and like read a little bit about them. And then one of the members, last name was Escalante, and then they did do a plug for the grand opening of Escalante Meadows coming up pretty soon. I didn't know there was a connection to like a veteran being the person that it was named after. So if you happen to see the guy that was there doing the script, I thought the information was pretty cool to share.
I believe they're gonna name the streets in Pasadena after the veterans that were killed in action.
Oh, wow.
My 5 updates. I bet I love it. You can keep talking.
Keep going, you're on a roll.
Yeah, no, it's been a
Talk
while.
about the grocery list. Keep going.
You don't want to pile on too much, no? If anybody has nothing else to talk about?
No,
discuss,
just I'm excited.
share.
I'm just excited, and let's hopefully we get some lot of things done and some events going and more rec.
Mhm.
This time I'll need a motion for adjournment.
I'd like to motion to adjourn.
Have 1 second.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you for allowing us to be in your home tonight. Thank you for coming. Recreation.